There aren't many big hits coming out in 2021, but that doesn't mean there wasn't anything to play. In addition, it was easy to miss some cool projects. In some cases, marketers did a bad job, and in others, the developers themselves scored on advertising. So, if you have passed Resident Evil Village, Deathloop, and It Takes Two, and now you are looking for other good games, do not pass by this video. You will find a lot of interesting options in it. Game Channel RTV thanks you for subscribing to the channel and wishes you a pleasant viewing. Once upon a time, The Forgotten City was a mod for Skyrim, but the project turned out to be so remarkable that over time it grew into an independent game. The novelty has problems like a primitive combat and an outdated picture, but otherwise it is good. The main advantage of The Forgotten City is the plot. The protagonist wanders into the mysterious ruins and by some miracle finds himself in an ancient Roman city, where gladiators walk the streets, slavery has not yet been abolished, and women do not have the right to vote. Life is in full swing there, but soon everything will come to an end. The fact is that the sword of Damocles hung over the place. If at least someone sinned, a monstrous punishment would immediately overtake everyone. The hero will have to find out if this is true, figure out the sinner who is about to destroy everyone, and figure out what the hell is going on. In this case, if the hero fails, the time loop will restart and allow you to make another attempt. In addition to an intriguing plot, The Forgotten City can be praised for its location design, pleasant sound and elaborate dialogues. It's all the more offensive that at the peak, the one-time online on Steam amounted to 600 people, and now less than 100 gamers hang into it at all. The game clearly deserves more. Some may think that Little Nightmares 2 has attracted a lot of attention. For example, videos with plot explanations and theories have millions of views. However, the project still flew past ceremonies like the Game Awards, and dropped to 200 gamers online on Steam. But the brainchild of Tarsier Studios is a true masterpiece that should never be forgotten. Take a look at Little Nightmares 2 and you'll be mesmerized by the visuals. The game is beautifully drawn, full of details and impressive with an unsettling atmosphere. The gameplay is also good, with Mono having to solve puzzles, jump across platforms, and face creepy enemies. Perhaps the hero will seem clumsy to some, but the developers intentionally made him so. This adds tension. And Little Nightmares 2 is one of the scariest games of the year. Everyone who went through the episode in the hospital and fought off the dummies is unlikely to argue with this. There is also enough other horror. What is a teacher with a long neck worth? In the end, the project has an interesting plot. It is served without words, but at the same time manages to tell about the themes of betrayal, friendship and madness. Guardians of the Galaxy is another victim of inept marketing. It would seem that after the failure of Avengers, Square Enix PR people had to do everything so that gamers saw all the advantages of the project in the trailers. But instead, they showed how Star-Lord dejectedly fired blasters at Jelly. Not surprisingly, the game was not particularly expected. In fact, it turned out that Guardians of the Galaxy had little in common with the Avengers. The game told an amazing story with the participation of charismatic characters, captivated with cool dialogues, impressed with visuals and sound. Perhaps the combat turned out to be insufficiently spectacular and driving, and at the start the game was replete with bugs. However, the story and characters were so good that it is easy to turn a blind eye to this. Alas, Guardians of the Galaxy was praised at the start and then forgotten. On Steam, the project has 95% positive reviews, but this did not allow it to sell a good circulation. Annoying. Few sensible shooters came out in 2021. Necromunda, Hired Gun was one of the most notable representatives of the genre. The thing turned out not bad, but this did not stop Metacritic from calling it one of the worst games of the year. Is such a low estimate fair? Probably not. Hired Gun cannot boast of a suitable plot or a technologically advanced picture, but it has enough advantages. The main one is dynamic gameplay. The hero can run along the walls, move around the arena with the help of a hook, dodge in the air, launch a Doberman on the villains and much more. Considering that there are a lot of enemies and they are dangerous, everyone has to use it. At the same time, you can't stop for a second, the slightest hitch can lead to death. Necromunda, Hired Gun is rightly criticized for its primitive side quests, leisurely finishing moves and technical imperfections, but the gameplay easily covers the shortcomings. There are quite a few games released in 2021 that deserve attention, but have passed by most gamers. Maybe you have such projects in mind? Tell us about them in the comments.